Jake Keane the start, and what did you like about what he did or has done too?
Well, he's just done so much in so many intangibles. And, we always talk about experience and what it means. And, at this point of the year, we're still breaking down, you got to have the feel and you got to have the what the numbers say. And that lineup that we started with has been our best lineup, our most productive. And so you're trying to, now doesn't mean it's you might want that lineup in different times of the game, but taking into account all the things he's doing and all the intangibles and the way we knew it was a big rebounding game, and rebounding is a cornerstone of what we do, and not many are doing it better than RJ from that position. I think he got 7 rebounds against St. Mary's, and we beat him by 9 on the glass. It was the difference in the game. And if you can't compete with those guys on the glass, then you're dead. And we certainly did that.
A lot of his rebounds, like he just comes charging in and catching him sleeping or whatever, and just, the hustle plays and things. I know the rebounds show up on the stat sheet, but some things he does don't. Tipping,
right.
There was a couple he tipped to Omar or somebody to get in a layup and stuff like that. Is that, I guess, just how is it hard at times to? You see it as a coach, but it doesn't always show up in the stat sheet what he does.
Exactly.
But he still obviously plays a big impact in these
games. And the entire world looks, a lot of times at a 3-pointer. Did he make it? Did he miss it? And I think that's a lot of the things we lost with Max, was doing a lot of those kind of weird, like team plays, winning plays that we talk about. And RJ brings that to the table, certainly. And the outside world might only just see he missed those threes, get him out, or, it's all those other winning plays that they make that make our team good. And those are the intangibles that you're learning in the preseason. And when you have 8 new guys, no matter how much you think you know them or how much you think that you know the combinations, you don't until you see them in games and see how the parts fit together. And, he certainly is the connector of this team. And it doesn't mean whether he's coming off the bench, he can't be that too. But we felt with his experience, and the team we're playing has a lot of experience, that's what we needed. And boy, he's stepped up. In this preseason.
You mentioned that role as connector and glue guy a couple times now. Mm-hmm. He mentioned it today. His personality, how does that make him the perfect guy to fit that role?
His teammates love him. I think even Al said something like, he's one of my favorite teammates of all time, and he goes, at first I didn't know what to think, and then now, and that's RJ. And, a team is such a collective group of where it's really neat when you have all the different personalities that help each other and kind of build each other up. But you need those guys, different guys. I don't want everybody to be the same, and I want some diversity in our group, and he certainly brings that, but brings them all together, and we have a lot of fun, and that's what our program's about. And like I said, I've told RJ that a number of times. I'm rooting for him, because he's means so much to this program, and he's had a great preseason so far.
He said he kind of takes pride in, helping Tyson make shots and making. Yeah. And I asked him, where's that selfishness come from? He said, I just want to see Tyson make the NBA. Just, how great of a teammate, do you have to be to, kind of put aside, he was 0 for 3 in that game. Yet he's like, that was one of the best games I've played.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it is all he cares, and that's what makes those kind of guys great. And how valuable and how undervalued kind of players like that are around the country, because us coaches sometimes we're like, okay, can that guy go get a shot anytime he wants and make a shot, and you get caught up in that sometimes when you lose what really matters and can make a difference in a team, and sometimes those guys' talents are so hidden that it has to hit you in the face, before you realize, I got to have that guy out there. And, that's happened a lot. And when you do realize it, you go all the way back to Jeff Loriaga. We didn't put him into the lineup until probably late January, early February. And then when we did, we won like 14 straight games, But you would never think this guy that wasn't recruited by anyone, and when I'm talking about Jeff, when he made 10 threes against Corbin, I was like, well, he was mad they didn't recruit him, It's true. But so those guys get overlooked, but their value to the team can't be overstated. And that's what RJ's bringing to this team.
So what can you say about RJ's development from here when he first got here? I mean, he was saying he's a redshirt sophomore, 22 years old.
Well, he's the same year as Tyson. I had to remember that.
Just how he's come along as a player to get to where he is now.
He's just matured, That's natural, and that's why you talk about experience. That's why you talk about age. That's why, everyone talks about, we try to stay old and this and that. There's a difference. Young guys have to go through stuff. Young guys make mistakes that they won't make 2 years from now, and when you're playing a bunch of young guys, then it adds up. But some of our young guys are doing things now that in 2 years they'll look back. I always, because we're a growth. It's about our always getting better and always improving. Kind of the thing I talk about with our guys. You're going to be embarrassed the player you were when you were 18 compared to when you're 22 and 23. And that means you've made tons of progress. And that's, that permeates our whole program. We want to be that way as coaches. We're better coaches because we just keep learning. We're better players because we keep striving to get better. That's what we do every single day. And that's, why our teams can keep improving.
You've obviously been juggling the starting lineup, the rotations. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys still had a stretch where you were struggling to score there at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
The second half. I mean, you mentioned so much potential still left in this team.
Yes.
Are you still searching for that perfect combination?
Oh, yeah. And I think we're clicking at about, I don't know, it's hard to put a percentage on it, but I just feel like, man, when this team really starts clicking, and it's not because of lack of effort, it's not because of, it's just, sometimes it's just a synergy thing when all of a sudden you just put a match to it and it blows up. And we're going to see that with this team, and it's coming. We made a huge progress last week, huge progress, because that team we played, they beat the Big Ten USC by 40. It was name the score game. They were 9-1. They beat the Big 12 team at their home court in Utah. They handled them. They beat Nebraska, on a neutral in South Dakota, which wasn't a neutral. They're a good basketball team, and they can give you droughts, and they can and they can pound you on the glass. And what we got done in that week, last week, I'm just so happy they got rewarded because it's a 1-point game. One more shot goes, or all these crazy things, and you don't feel like you're rewarded for the progress, because we made a lot of progress last week. We got rewarded for it, but that's just the game of basketball. And you look all over the country. It's when you can win those close games against good teams, or those close games, that's what makes a great season. And that was a big hurdle for us right there.
Especially to bounce back too from the loss, and just that. It could have gone one of two ways, I guess, and you lose that one, it's you're in a much tougher spot.
Yeah.
But with how, especially that first half, just how poor it was against Washington State, to have a whole week to have to sit on that and then respond with one of your biggest wins of the season.
No doubt, and we tell our guys too, when we go and watch film, we don't watch film to say what we could have done better against Washington State. That's gone. You have to be able to let that go. What we watch film for is to say, this is what we are going to do. This is where we can make a big jump, and these guys are great about when we address something, we can make that jump. We identify the problem, we come up with a solution, and then these guys are a really good team about that, which is so encouraging. And I think there was a bit of epiphany when I'm looking at last year's game against St. Mary's, and you look and you go, oh my God, they were 3-4, and we were 3-3 when we played, and we beat them, and we go to 4-3. They go to 3-5, and I think they ended up being a 5 seed. So sometimes you got to see the big picture and know, you feel like these games are end all and your season ends if you're not going to. No, it's a marathon in basketball. And you look all over the country, and the teams that are, look at UConn. The team they were in Maui is not the team they are now. They've gotten a lot better already. And that's what it's about. That's really what but there's so much outside pressures of on this game, the whole world crumbles if no, it's about staying the course, and it's about how much better we can keep getting. And it's encouraging for me where I feel like, you can get 30% better.
with all that being said, obviously it's Texas Southern tomorrow, but conference play starts in less than a week.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a team is where it needs to be right now?
That's a tricky question because we're in a great spot in a lot of ways, but yeah, but we want to get to where we're playing at 99% of our potential and just a tiny bit of growth, because we always want to be growing. But so that's what's exciting about it is we got two of the best wins in the country right now, and guys that are those will be feathers in our cap for the whole rest of the year, and we've done some great things, and and playing good teams like we've played, and true road games and big physical teams and all kinds of different kinds of teams has made us have to solve problems. The teams that don't do that, they're not forced into figuring that stuff out. So that's what playing good teams does for you, is it makes you a better team if you learn from it, grow from it, and fix it. So I think that in that sense we're in a great spot.
Just what do you see out of Texas Southern for tomorrow?
Well, it's a quick turnaround, and that's the biggest challenge. The challenge is always us. We talk about that a lot. It's the opponent is always someone we respect and someone we know that can get going. And Texas Southern's always been a program that, they rolled into Oregon a couple years ago and beat them, and they can get things going. And so, we got the proper respect for that game. We know how much each game means, and you're getting at that point of the season where you don't have much left. It goes so quick that we got to stay in these moments and appreciate these moments to play a team that can, they can get it going and score a lot.
You have a final push for the toy drive tomorrow?
Yeah, toy drive's going great, and we're excited because some of our guys are staying here for Christmas, and we want to be able to do that and help out some great charities around here. And what a great community we live in. We're so grateful that we get to help some people and serve this community in that way. And it's all the people that have stepped up for us that mean so much.
Thanks, Coach.